Studier visar att andra generations invandrare uppvisar högre nivåer av radikalisering jämfört med första generations invandrare. Med oss för att prata om detta har vi Tomas Samuel, kristen teolog och expert på islam. Welcome back to Riks, Tomas Samuel.
Thank you so much, Milena. I'm very happy to be with you again.
Can you tell us about these studies?
Actually, we have a big problem nowadays. I'm writing my book, The Radical Discipleship, and I was working on different studies, and I was shocked with the studies we have about the population of Muslims. I know that some people would think that it is not so surprising because there were expectations from before that we will be, Christianity is going to be 3 billions, but Muslims will be 3 billions too. These were expectations from before. But what I have found, for example, that on 2013, there were a very important study happened by WZB, Berlin Social Science Center. And in this study that happened in 2013, they compared the major 6 countries on a 5-year study of Moroccan and Turkish immigrants in Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Holland, and Sweden. And the results was really scary. For example, according to the study, they found that, which was funded by Germans, by the way, not by Muslims, so people would say that it's biased or something. No. Actually, 2/3, which is 65% of the Muslims interviewed, say Islamic Sharia law is more important to them than the laws of the country in which they live. 65%! This is scary! 65 prefer Sharia law, not in general, over the law of the country where they live. So they prefer Sharia law over Swedish law. And they said that out loud. Not only that, 3/4, which is 75% of the respondents, hold the opinion that there is only one legitimate interpretation of the Quran. So they are not, but Muslims are different groups, they have different opinions. No, 75% said that there is only one interpretation of the Quran, which should apply to all Muslims. And nearly 60% of Muslims believe their community should return to Islamic roots. Imagine, this study is really eye-opening to me. The problem, Milena, that this is not the only study that I have found. This one is a bit old, but we have other studies that is really dangerous also about the population, except what we have on PEW Research Center. Very recognized, very respectable. You know what does it say? It says, first of all, that there is a global change in the Muslim population. The global change, and this study happened to 2024, so this is really recent study. And the study happened between 2010 to 2020. So it's 2020, 2010 till 2020. And it says that we have, the number of Muslims around the world grew 21% between 2010 to 2020, with 1.7 billion to 2.0 billion. Someone would say, but this is worldwide, Thomas, it's not everywhere. Yeah, that's right, but you know what it says also? It says that in Europe, the population changed by 15.9%. So they grow from 39.280 million to 45,510,000,000. Can you imagine? This is really, really, really big numbers that we should really think of, putting in consideration that also 67% of Christianity dropped till 67%. So we are going less and they are going higher. This is really something that we need to think of. And lastly, about the statistics that I would like to share is why, right? This could be a question.
Yes, it was my second question.
Yeah, like why? Why it's happening? Because I was wondering the same thing. Why it is happening? And what I found that according to the same research center, they say two reasons. Fertility, which is childbearing, that they are good in giving birth, and immigration is the reason for Islam to grow up. So Muslims are growing by immigration, that's first way, and secondly, by giving birth. That's why the population in 2010 of Muslims, 52% of Muslims living in Europe, I talk, are between 15 and 49 years old. 52%. And 35% between 0 to 14 years old. So you have a very young group of religion, and according to the same center, they say this the most young religion in Europe is Islam. And that's why, that's no wonder, because Muhammad himself is saying in Musnad al-Imam Ahmad, in Musnad Ahmad, he says, in hadith number 12202, he say, Anas ibn Malik reported, Muhammad is saying, the Prophet of Islam, marry the loving and fertile. Verily, I will have most followers among the prophets on the day of resurrection. So we may say that Muhammad ordered his people to be fertile, to marry the fertile, the women who give a lot of birth, because he wants to be proud of them on the day of resurrection. So Muslims are applying Islam very well. And this is according to statistics, not according to my dreams.
Yeah, yes. And what are your thoughts regarding second generation Muslims in Sweden?
That's a big problem because, as we said, that they are big now. What we said, that they are majority. From age 0 till age 49, we have 87% of Muslims. 87% of Muslims. So this is really big number. And this is dangerous. Why? They are trying to increase the numbers. And this is what is scary. For example, I have a missionary friend who lives in Ireland, and he works between Ireland and London and UK. You know what he says? He says that the Pakistani immigrants, when their daughter reached 18, they send her to Pakistan. Why? To get married in Pakistan. Then she have residency, and she have permanent residency or nationality most probably. So she will be able to come back with her husband from Pakistan. Look at the trick. So it's not only that she become a British, but also she will bring one more British and have a lot of British children who are not really British. This is one thing. The second thing, Milena, that is really dangerous. Our kids have us as voorbeeld. We are the role models for them, right? They follow us. They love us. You are the most trusted person for your kid. And accordingly, your knowledge, what you give him, especially when he's a kid, is what will form his mind. What will make him think about everything. So if you grow him not integrated, whatever you do in school, whatever you do after that, he will not be integrated. He will always think he will be partially integrated. Or he will go towards what's more dangerous, that he wants to integrate the dream that he learned from his parents to the new society. You understand? So he wants to make his dream, because mostly they will tell him that Sharia law is the best, that Sharia law is the dream, that Sharia law, if you have Sharia law, you will have everything fixed. No problems, no hindrances, no challenges, right? Everything is perfect. And the kid didn't grow up in the Arab world, or in Muslim countries at least. So, for example, I grew up in a Muslim country, so I can know that for sure Islam is not the solution for anywhere. because I tasted that myself, you know. I tasted that and I tested that. But for him, no. He grew up with the conspiracy theory. And the conspiracy theory says simply two things. First of all, Sharia law is the solution for everything. Yeah, Dad, but he will say, yes, Dad, but why our countries are not developed? Because the West prevented us from that. The West hindered us from developing. So what culture you will have in the mind of this kid? You will have the culture that Sharia law is the solution, so he wants to see Sharia law here. And that's what Muhammad Abdu, the great Egyptian Imam, said one day, the Muslim Imam. He said, when I came to Europe, I saw Muslims without Islam. So what he means by that? He means that we live in ethical way that look like how Islam should look like. But actually, we are not Muslims. So he saw Islam without Muslims. So Islam was implemented according to him in our ethics. So what they want to do now, they want to adopt religion, Islam, to the West, to make it the main frame so we can live under Sharia law. So that's why I'm really happy with the suggestion of banning Sharia law that was just suggested. Sharia law is against human rights. Sharia law is against converts. You are not allowed to convert. It's against women. You are not allowed to have your freedom and be the person you are. You are not allowed to be whoever you are and whoever you want to be. And that's why we need the Christian Jewish foundation to understand which Europe is built on, to have our ethics that they envy us on, and they wish for themselves what they don't have. Okay, so yeah, so I'm really worried, Milena, and we need to do something in that regard. And I see that even in schools with kids and so on, they influence. Muslim kids are influencing the other kids and asking them, oh, what's your religion? You're not a Muslim. No, I'm Muslim. I'm proud. And you eat khanzir, you eat pork. Oh, that's bad. This is haram. That's forbidden. You should only eat halal food. This is happening in our schools. So we are in a big trouble, and we should take an action in that regard.
Thank you for joining us, Tomas Samuel.
Thank you so much for having me, Milena. I'm really happy to be with you from time to time. That's really great.
Thank you.